Hi, I'm Erik Asgeirsson, CEO of CPA.com, and I'm with Jake Benson, the CEO and founder of Lukka. We're here at Digital CPA. We just were on stage talking about our partnership and really the evolution of the crypto asset category. I mean, there's a lot going on, so we're going to get right into it. And one thing that's triggered a lot of interest is the 10,000 IRS letters that went out to individuals, doing a lot of transactions in cryptocurrencies, and the fact that it's going to be in the 1040 tax form. The question around is going to be 1040.
Yeah, that's incredible. So it is this year that this is, the first time the IRS explicitly acknowledging that you need to put the currency transactions on your tax forms. And so for about 6 years, the IRS has made it pretty clear that you need to calculate your capital gains and losses on crypto, but it's never been explicitly on the form. So and it's a high priority too. It's not just a footnote on 8949. It's not just some instructions on Schedule D. It is literally the question number one on Schedule 1 on the 1040 this year. So that tells you how big priority this is for the IRS. And so what we've done to address this, and it's really exciting to partner with you guys and deliver, a solution to the accounting profession, is Lukka Tax, and it's an industrial grade, very accurate tool that allows you to calculate gains and losses for your clients on all their cryptocurrency transactions. And it's super simple. It's very step-by-step, easy-to-use methodology. So for the millions of tens of millions of Americans that are out there that have to answer this question, and that they're asking their CPAs for a solution, we have a solution now. It's exciting to launch with you guys.
Well, let me just give a little bit. We're very excited as well. A little bit of the backstory. We've been leading a blockchain symposium for the past couple of years, thinking about the different blockchain use cases. And clearly now, the crypto asset use case around tax compliance is one that the firms are going to have to get their arms around. So your solution, it is an institutional grade solution. It's a very complex problem. I want to have you give the example that we just discussed on stage, where firms are going to need a solution. They're also going to need trainings and guidance, and we're going to be putting some training and guidance together and launching that with a webinar in January. But why don't you just give the simple example of why this is such a more complex thing to get the tax base?
Yeah, so I'll touch on just one or two of the technical nuances of crypto that really require a specialized solution for this. So let's take a cryptocurrency trade that's very typical. You can trade one cryptocurrency for another, like Bitcoin to Ethereum. And then you actually might pay a fee in a third cryptocurrency, a totally different cryptocurrency. Maybe it's one of these things called BNB Finance token. And what this would be equivalent to in the traditional world is if you were to directly trade a Microsoft stock for Tesla stock, never touching USD, just one for the other, but then paying your fee in a fraction of an Apple share. And how do you account for that? It's a really new, interesting transaction structure. And so we've developed software that can account for that, because it's one acquisition, two disposals, and there's a very complex way to actually measure the cost basis. That's the other technical nuance that I was going to touch on is valuing these assets. Right. In the traditional world, it's quite clear. You can look at NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange for a particular stock at a particular time. The price is obvious. Fair market value is pretty much indisputable. There's no confusion there. From the crypto industry, there's hundreds of exchanges, and they're trading 24/7 around the world. So there's no opening price, there's no closing price, and then you can't just average the price of all these exchanges. You actually have to, according to GAAP and IFRS, pick a particular exchange to value against. And that can change over time. So we've also developed what is the very first GAAP and IFRS compliant pricing methodology for crypto assets, and that's baked into the tool as well. So accountants can actually be comfortable with the cost basis that they're calculating on all of these transactions. So there's many other technical nuances with crypto assets that we have to deal with, but those are just two of the complex ones.
And what I'm excited about is that I think it's time for the broader firm market to really start getting their hands around blockchain and using this crypto asset use case, understanding how these different blockchain platforms are working, be it a Bitcoin, be it Ethereum. And then, we'll be getting into other types of crypto assets. That's right. One last comment is just, stepping out of just, the tax area. You mentioned evaluation services, and that's something that firms are going to have to think about. I was with a firm the other day, and they support a not-for-profit, and that not-for-profit had some crypto asset donations that had a lock period. So then they have to do the valuation work. So we're going to be working with you on that solution, and you kind of alluded a little bit to it. And then also there's going to be assurance opportunities, lots of assurance opportunities related to blockchain. A few years ago, we're saying blockchain was the end of the audit. That's really not the case at all. There's a lot of assurance required, but you need to have tools to kind of be able to understand, okay, how can I confirm that you actually have that crypto asset?
Yep. So say what you will about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and those cryptocurrencies. They're here. They're there. Tens of millions of Americans have them. But what's also a major trend, and really credit to you guys for recognizing that blockchain technology is an emerging ecosystem, and it does touch the balance sheets of many different entities, from individuals to small businesses who are going to be using this for payments, all the way to major investments. As assets and traditional assets tokenize on blockchain-based technology, the profession needs new modern tools in order to with that. So yes, cryptocurrency tax calculations are kind of the tip of the spear, the tip of the iceberg right now. But what we're really excited about in partnership with you guys is to, at large, build modern, trustworthy tools for the profession to be able to interact with this emerging ecosystem.
Well, Jake, clearly you've got a lot of expertise, you got a lot of passion here in this category. So thank you for developing the solution. We're going to be putting in place tools and training around it, and look forward to really rolling this out in 2020 to support the 2019 filing season. So thank you.
That's right. Thanks.